Everybody asks me the same terrifying question about debt settlement. Won't it destroy my credit forever? It's the #1 fear that keeps people stuck making minimum payments for a decade. So today, I'm gonna answer it with an analogy that finally makes it click, and then show you exactly how the credit recovery actually works. Let me get into it. Think about liposuction for a second. Someone gets the surgery to remove fat. Now, right after the procedure, do they walk out looking like a fitness model? No, they're swollen, they're bruised. For a few weeks, they actually look worse than before they went in. And if you took a photo of them on day 3 and said, "See, the surgery ruined you," they laugh at you. Because you and I both know that that's not the final result. That's recovery. The bruise heals, the swelling goes down, and then you see the leaner body. That was the whole point. Here's the reframe I want to burn into your brain. The credit score is the bruise. Let me be straight with you because I will never sugarcoat this. When you settle a debt, yes, your credit takes a hit. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. Falling behind on payments shows up on your credit report, and a settled account is generally noted as settled for less than the full balance, and your score can drop. That's real. That's the bruise. But here's what nobody tells you in the panic. It's temporary and it heals. The mistake people make is staring at the bruise on day 3 and thinking that's permanent. It isn't. Now let me add the part that flips the whole fear on its head. A lot of people fighting to protect their credit score are protecting something that's already unhealthy. Think about it for a second. If your cards are maxed out and your debt to income ratio is underwater, your credit score might look okay on the surface, but underneath, lenders already see someone stretched dangerously thin. That's the financial version of what people call skinny fat. You look okay in the mirror, but the blood work is bad. A number that looks fine while you're actually drowning isn't really protecting you. It's a costume. So let's talk about how the healing actually works with the real mechanics. First, the clock. A negative mark like this generally stays on your report for about 7 years. And here's the key detail almost nobody knows. That clock usually starts from the original date you first fell behind, not from the day you settle. So if you already have months or years past due, that clock is often already ticking. You're not resetting it to 0 by settling. In many cases, you're partway through it already. Second, the fade. The impact of a negative mark tends to lessen over time, especially as you add positive activity on top of it. A late mark from 4 years ago hurts far less than one from 4 months ago. And third, and this is the beautiful part, remember what you were doing to settle in the first place. You were building a savings fund. You were getting your debt to income ratio back under control. Those are the exact things that rebuild financial health. So you're not just healing, you're actively getting stronger than you were before the surgery. Let me make this concrete. Picture 2 people, both $25,000 in debt. Both miserable. Person 1 is so scared of the credit hit that they refuse to settle. They keep making minimum payments. 5 years later, they've paid a fortune in interest. They still owe most of the balance. Their debt ratio is still maxed, and their credit score has been quietly mediocre the whole time because they've been drowning the whole time. Person 2 settles. Their score dips hard. In year 1, it's ugly, but they resolve the debt, freed up their income, built a savings habit, and by year 3 or 4, they're rebuilding on solid ground with money in the bank. Ask yourself, 3 years out, who's actually in better shape? The bruised healed for person 2, person 1 never had surgery. They just stayed sick and called it caution. Now, the honest objection, I need my credit soon for a house or a car. Fair, and that changes the calculus, so I want to acknowledge it. If you have a major loan and you need it in the next year or so, the timing of a credit dip generally matters, and that's a real conversation to have about sequence. But be honest with yourself about whether that's your actual situation or whether it's just a story you're telling yourself to avoid dealing with the debt. For a lot of people, the truth is they weren't going to qualify for the house anyway with a maxed out ratio. The debt was the thing standing between them and that goal, not the settlement. So here's how to apply this. Stop judging the decision by the day 3 bruise. Zoom out. Ask what your financial health looks like in 3 to 5 years on each path. Staying in the debt versus resolving it and rebuilding. Pull your actual credit. Look at where the clock already stands on any late marks and factor in that recovery starts sooner than you think. Judge the outcome, not the swelling. Let's recap. Settlement does hit your credit. That's the bruise. It's real, but it's temporary. The 7-year clock usually starts from your first missed payment, not the settlement date. The impact fades as you add positive activity, and the very act of settling rebuilds the fundamentals underneath. Meanwhile, a good-looking score, while you're maxed out and drowning, was never really protecting you. So when you hear settlement will hurt your credit, translate it. It means someone's bruising during recovery, while the thing underneath, your actual financial health, gets better. If this reframed the whole fear for you, subscribe and go watch my full analogy video where I map out the entire journey out of debt to getting fit. The fat, the muscle, the surgery, all of it. It ties everything on this channel together, and I'll see you there. Quick note, I'm not a lawyer or a financial advisor, and this is education, not legal or financial advice for your specific situation. Everyone's credit picture is different. See you in the next video.